Hi guys, so this is Rahul, and in today's video, we are going to talk about .NET career tracks. If you are looking to become a .NET developer, so what is the things which you need to learn, and what are the different options in .NET? So let's do a simple thing. Before going into that, I'll just do a simple search. Just sign .NET on a job portal. See what they're asking for. So always go and see what the industry is looking for. Okay, let's suppose .NET Senior Development. They're looking for .NET Core. This is the latest one. Okay, so what they are looking for? If you see the skills, they are looking for is C Sharp language is used in .NET. You have to learn C Sharp language. Oops is obviously the part of C Sharp. Then .NET Core is the latest .NET framework that you have to learn, and then ASP.NET, and you have to understand MVC pattern mostly. Also, mostly MVC pattern, and then something on API side also they have given. But yeah, this is more about it. Then if I search some other jobs, this job, so what they're looking for? They're looking for .NET Core, C Sharp, okay, and backend development, web APIs, microservices, okay, APIs. So I list down some of the things which I am noticing here. So let me just do one thing. So one thing you realize is .NET Core. So .NET Core is the latest .NET framework. So learn this thing. Language is C Sharp. Okay, you have to learn this thing. Oops is by default it will come under oops, because C Sharp is an object-oriented programming language. So oops concept you have to learn when you are learning C Sharp. What else you see? ASP.NET. So ASP.NET is in .NET we can develop a Windows application, we can develop mobile application, we can develop web application. So .NET means we are developing web applications. So that is ASP.NET. If it is plain .NET, it can be many things. But ASP means web application, websites, okay, which runs on the web. Now, remember these things because many of you are not aware of this thing. .NET is a broad term. Okay, it's a Microsoft framework which is not just used to make websites. It can be used for many different software. It can be used to make Windows-based software or web-based software or mobile-based software. Many things are there. Some background jobs also we can deploy using .NET framework. So a lot of things are there, but mostly the most popular is ASP.NET, which is used to make web applications. Okay. Now, what else we have seen in the thing? We have seen MVC pattern. So we have a MVC. So in .NET also we have MVC, which is known as ASP.NET MVC. So this is also popular. This is used to make a complete application. We can say full stack .NET application, .NET web application. So suppose you want to make any companies wants to develop a full stack .NET application, they can leverage the MVC framework. So if you want to learn .NET, you can definitely start with C Sharp, and then you can move on to learn ASP.NET MVC. Okay, that is not an issue. You can definitely go and learn that thing. Now, what else we have seen? Web APIs. So web APIs are the latest and the trending thing. Okay, so this is used. This is the latest development trend. Okay. So every companies or every new project is like they want to use APIs in the back end and single page application in the front end. Like single page application is what they want to use React or Angular. Okay. So if you're working on the web APIs, it means you are a backend developer. You don't have to worry about front end. Front end is different. Front end will be a separate team, and back end is a separate team. MVC, on the other hand, is like a full stack. You have to make front end also, back end also, everything using MVC. Okay, so company also prefers that thing. This is a nice framework. Company is still using it, but yeah, but most of the companies are not using it nowadays. They are moving to APIs based development. So that's why web APIs has gained like a lot of popularity, and almost every new product is being done using this thing, this stack. Like in the backend, we have Web API, in the front end, we have React or Angular. Okay, so this is what is happening nowadays. Okay, so if I go and search, okay, more jobs, you will find the similarity. So you have to find the common things. You have to find, okay, what are the common things which uh, companies are looking for. So you have to find that thing. So here, you see .NET developer, what they are looking for. .NET and React. This is a full stack development, but this full stack is what they are expecting here. They are expecting that in the backend you should know .NET Web APIs, in the front end you should know React. This is also full stack role, and this is also full stack role, but it's easier because it is easy. It's not too much. There's no too much heavy framework on the front end. It's just plain HTML and a little bit of CSS and a little bit of JavaScript and jQuery. But here it is like a full-fledged, very like complex framework. I can say advanced framework like React and Angular, which you can understand takes time for that thing. But companies are also looking for this thing. So I can say there are three kind of profile which you can go. You can go for older technologies. So what is the older technology? You can go for ASP.NET MVC. It's the old one. Okay, now companies are still using it. So you can learn this thing. Along with this, if you learn little bit of JavaScript and jQuery, and this is a plus point and Ajax and all those things. Okay, so just search all these points. So this is okay. If you don't want very complex thing to learn, you want to make keep it simple, learn this thing. But remember, these are the older one. Okay, so you will have less jobs in this. More is on the backend side. So in the new, you have two roles. Either you can go for a backend, whether you can go for a full stack. If you go for a full stack, you have to learn Web API and React. If you want to go for only for backend, you have to learn Web APIs. That's it. And how to build REST API in this thing. Definitely, this is simpler. This is because here in full stack you have to learn two different languages. One is C Sharp for .NET, and then in React you have to learn JavaScript, and then you have to master this framework also. So this becomes a little bit challenging at the for one go. Whereas in the backend, if you just focus on .NET, it's definitely easier. Okay, older also is easy. It's not very difficult like MVC pattern. Okay, that also you too can learn with jQuery and Ajax little bit. This is also nice. Okay, but I will suggest you to go for this one. So my preference, like my suggestion will be to go for this one. Why? Because this is the latest job. Okay, so always try for latest job because that will give you good opportunity and good exposure, and it will take less time than going for this full stack. You have to learn both. Better go for backend and just learn one thing. It is easier. Apart from this thing, what you have to learn nowadays? So you have to learn cloud. So in cloud, what you have to learn? You have to learn Azure, or so mostly Azure cloud is used. It is popular with .NET because this is also .NET is also Microsoft technology. Azure is also like your .NET technology cloud. Okay, but still company use AWS also with .NET, but mostly they will use your Azure. Okay, with .NET. So you can definitely you have to learn basics of Azure, how to deploy like ASP.NET application using app services. So in Azure you can learn what is app services. This is very important. Basic things like how to deploy any .NET application using Azure app services. Then apart from that, how to use SQL Server or SQL on Azure, how to do those things. At least basics you should know. If you don't know advanced, it is fine. How to like deploy and basic things. Apart from this, you have to know Git. Nowadays, it is very important. CI/CD pipelines. What are those things? Okay, that is a plus point. That's not mandatory that you must know. Okay, but Git you have to must know because Git is used for day-to-day purpose. That is for sure for any development, not for .NET. For every developer, this is a must Git. But if you focus on .NET, then C Sharp, ASP.NET. In ASP.NET is two. Either go for MVC or Web API. But I will suggest go for Web API because this is the latest one in the market. There are a lot of jobs. You can go and search here also. Sorry, in the job portals, you will find that. Okay, if I go back, you see a lot of jobs are there. Okay, and .NET is a nice career. Here you can see full stack developer with Angular, full stack developer with .NET. This is backend. Microservices is like a backend. Like you have multiple REST API, multiple services. How do you work to make it together? So this is also like companies are offering like React with .NET. So both is good, but it depends. If you already knows full stack will be a little bit challenging in the first go. So I will suggest you go for first .NET. Then in future you can learn React or Angular. It will be easier for you rather than directly going for the uh, like front end. And .NET also has a nice scope. Already have discussed this thing, but I'm not going back into the details. I've already made a video about that .NET. Why you should learn .NET nowadays. It's because in this very nice demand, you can see this REST API. This is like API development. So this is the new pattern. In new pattern, what we don't build the entire full stack application using .NET. We just build the APIs and then the React will consume these APIs. Okay, or Angular will consume APIs. This is more like a backend development. Okay, this is more like a backend development. So this is you can see here. This is full stack. .NET C Sharp. So both openings are there. You can just search. But for if you ask me, don't go directly for full stack. Better start with MVC. MVC jobs are also there. If you just search .NET MVC, so MVC jobs are also still there. It's not that MVC jobs has finished. It's not like that. MVC jobs are still there. And if you even you know MVC, there's good and .NET properly. You can see .NET jQuery as I mentioned, correct. So jobs are there. Jobs are there in MVC also. It's not jobs are extinct. You can see .NET MVC. MVC will be definitely easier for you to start with. Okay, you can see .NET MVC. So .NET MVC is still in demand. It's not like that it is like nobody's using it. Yeah, so .NET MVC also you can learn. So with this thing, I will stop the video. I don't want to take much time. I just wanted to highlight what was. See, problem is that people don't know what to learn, okay, and what to focus on. So either you focus on .NET MVC for full stack. I am fine with that. That will not be hard. Or either you focus on web API. I will not suggest you to go with like React or Angular and .NET API at the same time. It will be very much challenging and the similar time. If you are very good in programming, if you are confident about that thing, it's up your choice ultimately. You have to make a choice. But I will not recommend personally. So with this, I will stop this video. I hope you will get good idea about .NET development and how to start with .NET development. And you can choose a track for you and you can find out there are a lot of jobs in .NET. You can check the salaries also. It is very good. Okay. So decide for yourself and thank you for watching.